there's going to be an earthquake and fire from heaven, and there's going to be a great booming voice that says, all this music that you thought was awesome wasn't, but academic music was really awesome, and you should be listening to it. Hi, I'm Robert Anton Strobel. I teach people how to compose. While I was outside grilling steak, I thought I would talk about composer folklore, stuff that people commonly say that isn't true. So I'll tell you why, and I'll give the evidence as well. Yum. The first composer myth that a lot of composers believe in is that if they work hard enough and that they polish their piece enough, their piece will be the greatest piece in the world and everyone will want to perform it. So this is built on several assumptions. There's the assumption that your values are leading to a piece that will be praised, whether it be by a committee or by a group of people. I don't think that it even matters. You are thinking that your music can be the best because it follows perfectly certain values that you've been taught, okay? I think that this is unrealistic. The stylistic world that we live in is constantly changing. So you might write a killer piece in a particular style, but you know what? You're still going to get burned by a lot of people who are going to say that that's not the thing that they're looking for. You have to be able to resonate with someone before it's a quote-unquote good piece. Everyone is different and they have different values. What you write is not necessarily about what's good. It's about what's relevant and what will resonate with certain people. The third myth is very much similar to the first myth. It is that you believe that if you're mean and you're terrible and you're toxic and you really complain a lot, the world will somehow magically be better. This is unrealistic. Usually when you're mean, when you're critical, when you're cynical, that usually rubs off in a bad way. And so I think a lot of people out there came from that kind of musical culture where they basically, you could be as mean as you possibly could, and that was going to lead to your success. There are some circles where it might lead to your success, but I think that number one, you're taking a big risk doing that. Obviously, I say things that people disagree with, but I don't hate you, and I'm not mocking you, and I respect your point of view. If I might add, composition was never about avoiding what's negative. It was about writing something that was really awesome. That's different from avoiding the negative. That's fundamentally different. If you're negative, you're not magically going to be successful. In fact, the people that got successful while they were being negative, they're convinced that being negative is the way to be successful, or else everything's going to be bad. And so they play lots of games with themselves, and imaginary games at that. Whereas if you're writing music, you have to be able to write something that people like. That's different from just simply avoiding something that you're afraid of, or being a tiptoe kind of composer. That doesn't sound like that person's writing good music, does it? So don't tiptoe around people, basically. The fourth myth is that composers are better off being cut off from the things that will stain it. This is pretty weird to me, but there are actually people out there who really, really disagree with popular music, with an audience, with making money. All of this is totally, absolutely bonkers to me, because I guarantee you, when you first started studying composition, unless you'd taken like an avant-garde class or whatever, you believed that you wanted all of those things. And somehow academia convinced you that all of those things that are really super obvious and wanted by all of these people should be avoided. There's nothing inherently dirty about wanting to please people, because if you are successful in the academic sphere, you are pleasing someone. And if you're pleasing someone in the popular sphere, it's just the same thing. What's the difference? I don't know. I think that sometimes there are acquired tastes and values in academia that you should follow. And that doesn't mean that they're true or bad or whatever. And the same thing holds true with popular music. To be honest, popular music is heavily peer-reviewed, at least peer-reviewed in a sense, so that everything that's out there and is listened to, someone's going to judge it, and they're making decisions behind the scenes, and you're making decisions behind the scenes as well. So all that stuff about, oh, well, then I'm pleasing people. Well, I just don't buy that you're not pleasing someone if you're writing something that is very clearly academic. I don't see how that's a difference. Either way, you're pleasing people. Okay, and I don't know everything. I'm not omnipotent, and I can't take the time to go over every little detail. Sometimes summaries are inherently full of things that people question, but that's because they're summaries, and I'm well aware of that. So anyway, let's talk about it. Look at that.